Hey there guys, my name is Jacob Jabut and I currently own and operate my own lawn care business. I've been in the business roughly 10 years. I started working with my father who's been in the business 20 to 30 years. And with our combined knowledge, I actually created a 5-step process that I would advise anybody that is getting into the lawn care business. And well, let's not waste any time. I guess we'll just get right into it. The first thing, though, that I'm assuming if you're watching this video is that you know how to mow and trim a lawn. It's pretty basic. There are definitely some better ways to mow and trim a lawn and some techniques. I'm not going to really go over that stuff in this video. There's a lot of videos out there that you can watch, and honestly, just doing it yourself, you will find efficient ways to mow. That's number one. The other thing that I'm assuming is that you have the equipment to mow a lawn. Now, I don't care if you have a push mower or if you have the top end zero turn. It doesn't matter. I'm just assuming that you have some sort of equipment to mow and trim lawns. But without further ado, step number one, that is brand. I suggest figure out the name of your company. Maybe get a couple different names, and then what I would tell you to do is go down to your county clerk's office. From there, you can get a DBA, doing business as. Here, they will have a record of all the other companies and businesses in your area and county and what they are doing business as. That way, you can ensure that you're not using somebody else's name. It's better to do this early on, because if you start using a name, you start putting it on t-shirts or maybe even on your trucks, and come to find out later on when you actually want to get an EIN number, an employer identifications number, or start really getting big, and you find out that you're using somebody else's name, that really would not be good. So first thing is figure out your name, have it be very specific to lawn care, obviously something to do with mowing and cutting lawns. Make it stand out, get creative with it. Maybe talk to somebody. If you're not as creative, talk to somebody that has a graphic design background. But figure out specifically the name and logo. So that's your brand. Step number two, I would say, is organize. You're going to want to, for one, figure out your hourly rate. Now, once you get your hourly rate, you're going to want to figure out how to properly do estimates to mow lawns. Now, what I would recommend for this is practice on your own lawn. Practice if you mow your grandparents' lawn or a friend's lawn, any family member. Just try and mow these lawns, see how long it takes you to mow them, and then try and figure out what the factors are that go into mowing a lawn and why it's taking you the time that it does. Is there a lot of travel time? I mean, that is another thing. Travel time, how many objects there are to trim. Is there a gate that you gotta work around? Is there a big shed, or is there a lot of hills? Try and take into all of these factors, and then create an estimate template moving forward that you will use for all of your lawns. The next thing I would recommend is creating timesheets. This is very easy. I do it through Google Sheets. All you have to do is have the address of the place that you're mowing, and then have the time in and the time out. This way, when you're in your truck and you're mowing, you just write your time in and your time out. This will allow you to track your time, and then later on figure out if you are meeting your hourly rate. So that is organize. The other things that fall into organizing is keeping track of your receipts. You want to track your expenses and compare it to your income. But moving on to step three, obviously there's more things that you can do with organizing, but those are the biggest, most important. Now, step three is advertising. You've got your name, your logo. You figured out how you're going to bid on jobs. You have all the systems in place. You know exactly what you're going to do when you go out and mow. Obviously, you're not going to know everything that you're going to do. There's going to be stuff that you learn, but you are prepared to go out there, and for the most part, you know what you're doing. So now you need the business, obviously. And some of you might already have business in your or have a lawn route and you're watching this. That's okay. Still might learn a thing or two, hopefully. But anyways, advertising. If you're starting out and you don't really want to spend a lot of money, just tell everyone. Tell all of your friends, your family, anybody that you're talking to. Maybe don't be obnoxious about it, but definitely let them know that this is what you're doing and you're excited to do it. Now, also start a Facebook page, whether you're looking to spend a lot of money or not. Still start a Facebook page. It is hands down, I believe, the best advertising tool, or at least one of the best advertising tools. It's free. You can put money into it if you want to get reach a bigger audience, but for the most part, it's free. And I recommend just posting on there at least once a week. Once a day is good too, but you want to keep it fresh. Don't be super repetitive. You don't want people to be annoyed when they see your ad. Keep it new and just let people know what you're doing, and maybe share pictures of lawns that you've cut, or if you get a new piece of equipment, or you just washed your equipment. Just things to for people to see, and they're gonna just have your business in the back of their mind. So maybe not today or tomorrow, but one day they might need somebody to mow their lawn, or they might know somebody that needs their lawn mowed, and they might remember you from your Facebook ad or your Facebook post. So just routinely post on there. Facebook's amazing. The other thing, t-shirts. Make t-shirts. Wear your t-shirt out everywhere. Give t-shirts out to people. This is obviously starting to you're gonna have to spend some money on some shirts, but it is a great advertising tool. And if you make a cool looking shirt, I know people that'll just wear it because it looks cool. But again, a great advertising tool. Put a logo on your truck. Another thing that I really, really like, and is probably honestly my number one advertising tool, is flyers. There's a website that I get them from. They're actually just sticky notes, but I find these to be the best for mowing. I'm not going to dive too deep into why in this video. I will put a link in the description below for another video where I go in depth as to why I believe flyers are the absolute best. If you're interested, you can go ahead and watch that. But moving on here, onto step 4 is maximize. Maximizing your business. You've created your brand. You've organized. You're ready to take on business. You've started advertising and you're getting business. Now where do you go from here? Obviously, keep advertising, keep organizing, and structuring your company or your business. But when I say maximize, go over those timesheets. As you get more and more lawns, go over the timesheet and see, obviously, if you're meeting your hourly rate, and then start adjusting prices. If you're not, what I do is I actually apply something called the 80-20 rule. If you haven't heard of it, it applies to pretty much everything in life. And in this instance, 20% of your lawns make up 80% of your income. It's just a rule that seems to be found throughout everything. But 80-20, everything to do with your business, I would say. Now, this can be different for everybody. For instance, if say you're just doing this part-time, you already have another job, you just want to do some lawns on the side to have some extra cash, doing the 80-20 rule for you, a good example is you might have a lawn that's a couple miles out of the city, so there's a lot of travel time to get there. You might make $50 mowing that lawn, $60, $80, however much it is, but the travel time is a lot. And you figure, you're starting to get more business. I'm not trying to do this full time. If I get rid of that lawn or raise the price on it, it will say if you raise the price, perfect, you're good. But if the customer doesn't accept the price, then maybe you get rid of that lawn and you get another 2, 3, 4 lawns in the city that are less money per each, but you can do them much faster, so your hourly rate is going to be higher. This is the 80-20 rule. So I've done this too, and I can tell you it is a real thing. Like I said, I have a bunch of having a bunch of properties in the same area is just the best. But for say maybe if you're somebody that this is your primary income, so doing the 80-20 rule for that property, you might look at that property where you're making $50 on it and say, well, yeah, it is a lot of travel time, but if I don't mow that, then I'm just gonna sit home and not really be doing anything. I might as well make the $50. So it really depends what position you're in and what you're looking to do. Somebody might say, yeah, I'll just keep all those lawns, and if I get too busy and I can't do it all, I'll hire somebody. Or someone might say, I don't want to hire anybody. I want to have this business just be me. So I'm going to, like I said, raise the price on that lawn or get rid of it. The 80-20 rule also can apply to advertising. Try and sit down and look at the effectiveness of every ad and how much money you're spending. Maybe you're doing ads on TV even, which I don't recommend doing, but maybe you're doing ads on TV and you're spending $500 a month on that, and you're spending $100 on Facebook a month, and you can see people have messaged you on Facebook, and your phone's not really ringing from those TV calls. So you sit down and say, okay, well, screw the TV. You might get a couple calls from there, but it's just not worth it. You'd rather just put all that money into Facebook. Things like that. This will come once you start getting more and more business. You can afford to do this. The way that I did it was I took my hourly rate and I broke it down into dollars per minute. And then I went through all of my timesheets. I took the average of all of the times, and then I broke that time down into how much money I was making per minute. And then I just compared that to my hourly rate. And from there I could say, all right, these lawns need to be increased. These lawns are good. Or these lawns are really good. I want to start pushing for these lawns. The 80-20 rule is great, but this is why organizing is huge, because you can't, without having those timesheets and figuring out what your hourly rate's going to be, there's no real way to track that sort of stuff. But anyways, moving on, step 5 is just repeat. When you start making some money, reinvest that into advertising. Like I already said, 80-20 everything. Maybe even start hiring some people. Maybe if you're really growing, start looking at possibly franchising. And another thing, which you really should do in the organizing steps of your business, is actually lay out all of the positions in your business. I did this, and while I'm pretty much wearing every hat for my business, without having those positions laid out and having the tasks that are given to each role, once it does come time to hire, you don't know, what to call you hire somebody, but they don't know what to do. You don't know what to have them do, and you're just constantly gonna be looking over them. So laying out the positions in your business, that's something that I forgot to mention. But yes, this is the 5 steps. I guess the acronym would be BOOM, BOAM, brand, organize, advertise, maximize, and then repeat, boomer. I don't know. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. Those are the 5 steps that I would recommend to anybody that is getting into this business. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe. I would love to hear from you guys if you are starting your own business, or maybe you've been in the business and you can even give me some advice. That would be amazing. But I hope you learned something, and thank you guys for watching.